Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yay. Welcome to the DFCC
Oh,
Welcome to the
you didn't see
Oops.
that.
No, you saw nothing. Welcome to the DFCC presents Victorian Psycho. We are so excited to have you all here today. We're going to give it just a few minutes for everybody to load in. Because we actually started on time and we're very proud of ourselves.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, we are your hosts. I am Kaylee Creates, I'm Kaylee Mickey, also Kaylee Creates. Underneath me, we have
Laura, aka Lady Tartan.
And I'm Taylor, also known as A Little Screamish Reads on Instagram.
Whoa.
Yay.
So before we get started, we are very excited to announce next month we will be reading Green Fuse Burning by Tiffany Morris.
Yes.
Yay! I need to make sure that I'm in. There we go. It's been a minute since I posted. But yes, we're doing Green Fuse Burning. And let's see. Important dates to keep in mind for that is going to be, let me pull those up real quick. Gonna want to keep an eye out for April 1st when we open our theme submissions for May. Our first reading sprint will be April 9th. Our first, the book voting will commence on April 13th for May. April 18th, we have our movie night. April 26th, we have our reading sprint number 2. And April 28th, we'll have our book discussion. So that will be April.
That'll be a fun month. I'm very excited to read this book. April's
Me
book.
too.
Yes, it's been on my TBR since it came out about a year ago. And I'm, it's very, I love that it won in a landslide this time because we had
We
it
had
up
a couple good
for,
months.
Yeah. We had it for November as an option. So we
Yeah.
brought it back.
What did we end up doing in November?
We did Man-Made Monsters.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why does it feel so difficult for me to remember? And I'm like, oh,
And
right,
I
because
did
I
love that
reread.
book.
Oh, it's such a good book. That's also why I'm like super excited for Green Fuse Burning this time because God, we are just so lucky to be blessed with so much just great horror right now.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to delve into different like lores and mythologies and cultures is fantastic. It's so rich right now.
It really, really is. We have so much, like, I'm a huge fan of indigenous horror, and I feel like we are being fed. And I love that.
And I'm gonna plug
Buffalo
it.
Hunter.
Oh,
Nice.
Excited.
I love that man. I love that man.
I would also like to state, speaking of indigenous horror, Never Whistle at Night has been on the Times best-selling list for 77 weeks.
Holy
I think
crap.
this week, if it's still on there, will be 78, which is
wow.
That's
amazing.
That is amazing.
And they're getting a second anthology. They're putting together a second anthology, which is super cool too.
Doesn't Tiffany Morris have a story in Never Whistle at Night?
I don't remember if Tiffany does. I know that Andrea does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Tiffany does. I don't want to speak out of turn on that.
I'm not sure off the top of my head either. Let me see.
I know. I would have to look at my copy.
Yes.
She does.
She does.
Yay! And she's got a copy. Yes, see?
Mm-hmm.
Full circle. Hey, Claudia.
Hi, Claudia.
All right. Oh my gosh, the start paper is not.
I know, I did all my crafts ahead of time. Because I was like, oh, it's a reading sprint. It's not. I was like, oh, I gotta get this done.
Yeah.
I can't do
I
those things all at the same time.
I had a piece of paper in front of me and I was like, oh, okay. And so I was gonna put it as a star, but this paper's tougher than the other ones I was working with. So I was like, oof, you're just gonna stay where you are. Now I understand why making paper stars was so hard with the last stuff.
You always be making paper stars, though.
I make a lot of paper stars. It's
know.
my
I went to Michael's to look to see if they had any star paper, but they didn't because you've inspired me.
Do you have a Daiso around you?
Yes.
Daiso should have some.
Oh, okay. I'll look. There.
Yeah, in their craft section. Yeah. I do always be making paper stars. I do. They're just my anti-anxiety thingy. Oh no.
Yeah. We're here. We're still here.
I have both AirPods in this time, and so I'm like, so weird. Okay. Well, I think we have waited long enough.
All right.
I think we can go ahead and get started. We've already introduced ourselves, but if you're just now popping in, I am Kaylee Creates.
I'm Lady
Underneath
Tart.
me is, and then underneath her
is Taylor. A little Screamish Reads. What's my handle?
right? You're like, who am I? Just guess. Oh, sorry, that's Bring It On. So to start off, we have the memes. You know we love them. We have so many fun ones. I cannot take credit for any of these this time because Laura and Taylor just killed it with the memes.
This was a memeable book.
This was a very memeable book. I'm going to let you guys kind of talk about your memes for a second. And kind of I gotta say, my favorite is Whose White Baby Is This?
Yeah, we will be talking a little bit about spoilers. Do you want to go ahead?
Yes, this is your warning. Yes. If you have not read the book, we will be talking about the book in detail. So pause this, go read it, come back. We'll be here.
We'll be here the whole time.
All right. So yeah, who wants to go first talking about
their memes?
Sure. I'm gonna start off with whose goddamn white baby is that? For everybody that has read the book, I thought of a very specific scene in the book that does pertain to a white baby. So as we get into that, I think we have a whole section where we're discussing that one. And then this book just gave Ready or Not vibes. Like it's gothic. It has a weird family, and it has a girl who well, not in Ready or Not. She's not always insane, but by the end, she gets a little wacky. Yeah. And just, classic Jack Sparrow at the gallows. Who knows what happens at the gallows scenes? I mean, really, like, it's so much left to be interpreted in the end of this book. So I just wanted to throw him in. And there's a scene where Winifred interacts with one of the other ladies of the house. And all I thought when it happened was, those memes where it's like, witch, even though it's not a witch. But I could not get that out of my head, so I wanted something to represent that. And then I just have in the upper right-hand corner, just a Victorian meme where it's just Winifred doing the job that she signed up for. She hates it. I mean, we all hate our jobs. I mean, some people love their jobs.
Anytime she has to teach the kids French.
I tried so hard to find like a fake French meme, but it's like, how am I going to put that onto a meme?
We should have done Friends.
Oh, it's okay. Next
We
time.
can't speak French.
Next time. Oh, that would have been a good one. I was trying. And then there is a scene with a mummy, because why not? And then a very extensive
Oh my
crow
God.
scene, I'd say.
I definitely forgot about the mummy.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, we threw that in there. So there's a mummy in there, a very extensive crow scene, and I wanted to give a shout out to Margaret Qualley, who will be playing Winifred in the movie adaptation. And since this is so wrapped into American Psycho, I had to give a shout out to Patrick Bateman as well. So those are my memes.
I do love the when you want to sleep in, but the Europeans won't let you. It's like there's a
That
mummy.
made me
Also
laugh.
colonialism.
They just took all
Like
the mummies.
one of my
out
favorite jokes. They did. One of my favorite jokes is why are the pyramids in Giza? Because they couldn't figure out a way to get them back to the British Museum.
Yeah, they could have. If they could have gone stone by stone, I think they would have. They would have built
They
it.
probably would have, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My
They didn't have the
memes,
technology.
I had the 3 in the bottom right of Liam Neeson with his terrifying skills in Taken. A very particular set of skills. I have experience in early education and I'm interested in a position as a governess. And then Drusilla from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because that little girl gave creepy Drusilla vibes, and they have the same name.
Oh.
And then the little comic strip is from one of my favorite comic artists called Kate Beaton. She does a webcomic called Heart a Vagrant. And they're all like classic literature themed. But this is a Jane Eyre one because there was a ton of Jane Eyre references. And it just reminded me of Winifred's interactions with Mr. Pounds. It's like, do you think me handsome? No, sir. Good, because you're ugly too. Then we're both ugly.
All right. So we are going to, oh my God, my eye is burning. We are going to take one more second to look at all the great memes. And then we are going to, boom, start talking about our book.
Yay.
Taylor, I'm going to let you start this one. So we have a fun riff on a modern take.
I just thought this was funny. I don't have anything else to contribute other than I just like the idea of it's a play on words for an American werewolf in London, and it was so much of this story like radiated American Psycho. Obviously, the author talks about it, and it's just American Psycho in a girly font, and we love that. So I just thought it was a funny little play on words.
American Psycho with heart tildes.
Yeah. Did a Bronte sister write this? Like, it's if a Bronte sister wrote American Psycho.
It was Anne. It was Anne after she was tired of everything else.
Anne's too boring to write this.
Yeah, this was funny. This was really funny.
Right.
Anne's
This had to be
psychotic
Charlotte.
break. Yeah, had to be
Psychotic
Charlotte.
break. Had to be Charlotte. All the Jane Eyre
All
references.
right.
Had to be Charlotte.
Had to be Charlotte. So actually, you know what? I love this because when we think about Victorian Psycho, we do like innately think of like London, we think of like England, we think of like the fog, the mist, the gothic. Something that I really loved that she did is the places in which she put the settings. She like named the places. All kinds of just so on the nose turn of phrases. So like where was it? Grimworld. Grimworld. The house that the Pounds live at. Oh my gosh. Hope for None. Hope for None is where she grows up.
I need a
which
book.
that makes sense, having a pastor, reverend-esque figure there. There's, I cannot remember what the house is called.
What, the main house?
Yeah.
Ensor? Endor?
Ensor?
I don't have a book.
Ensor House, yeah. I know. I'm like, I'm trying to remember.
Yes,
I was like,
Ensor House. And it's
I had
in
to
the
give my
moors.
copy back to the library. I have all photos of all the pages that I liked.
the way she names things just is so great because she'll put like little truths. She'll sneak in these little truths throughout her storytelling. And I came to find as we're going through, the only things she calls by name are things that she feels entitled to, or things that are her. There's a line in like right before, I think it's right before. Yes, it's right before the end of part one, and it's only heirs are worthy of their father's love when they're talking about the babies and everything. And I just kind of love that anything that's supposed to be her inheritance, she kind of refers to by name. But then everything else she has these very fun names for, like all of the people that surround her. So some of the names we have are like Miss Lamb. We have Miss Lamb. We have obviously her name, Miss Naughty, the nice play on words there. We have
even Pounds because they're rich.
Pounds, right? Miss Abel, Mrs. Abel, who looks like she's never held a penis in her life. Which I don't know about you guys, but the
line.
second I read that was the line
That
where I
was
went,
just-
"Oh, this book's gonna be fun."
Right. Like,
They went. I think I tabbed something at like page 7. I was like, "Oh, this is it."
Yep,
and the
I think
fancies.
the fancies. All of the names are just, they're not just so like on the nose, but they're also, they set this very Dickensian tone to where it can be anybody. Like you can just put anybody from that time period right there and you're like, "Oh, I get the picture. Oh, I know who this is." Like the name does so much.
Virginia really has a talent for that, like reading through, because as you're talking about it, I'm like, I wish I had the book in front of me. Like thinking of all those little details that are so subtle, but also have such impact in the greater story as you get to the end of it.
Yes. Her wit and turn of phrase throughout this whole book is just fantastic.
And as far as like naming things as well, like it's not just the names of the people. One thing I noticed, like almost right away, was how when she's talking about anything that's not people, like inanimate objects, the scenery, she personifies those things and dehumanizes the actual people.
I think that's a direct correlation to American Psycho. Because that's kind of what they do there as well.
That's true.
Because they don't, because she is, for the definition's term, a psychopath, and they don't have empathy, but you want to have that perception that you do. So you personify the things that don't need to be personified to show that you care when you really don't. Because you don't want to project.
And all the little details about her, like, trying to control the muscles in her face and things like that, like her trying to be a real human.
Yeah, lots of that.
And then she goes and uses the loo and wipes her ass with obituaries,
An
which are
I
obituary.
almost put a chamber pot for the memes, and I was like,
yes.
she talks a lot about
Um,
them.
she does. Well, and it's almost like she wipes her ass exclusively with obituaries.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
think
"Oh, they're dead.
she reads
Okay,
them and then she wipes.
that's it. That's it."
Yeah.
And so this brings us to our next slide, which lets us talk a little bit more about Miss Lamb and Miss Naughty. Um, I feel like a lot happened between the two of them.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to think of how to get into it. Because on the one hand, we have Miss Lamb, and a lamb, when you hear Miss Lamb, the thing that should come to mind is like innocence and being shepherded and like being led, uh,
To the slaughter.
being to slaughter. But the other thing that I love about it is to go on the lam, to go on the run, to go missing. And between like Miss Lamb and Miss Naughty are such a good the setup that she does with Miss Lamb and Miss Naughty is such a good dichotomy because there's a brief moment where she talks about how she not only sees Miss Lamb and thinks Miss Lamb sees her, so there's like a little bit more um, connection there, but then she also turns it into um, my thoughts are running faster than my mouth. I'm so sorry. Um, once she realizes that she's rejected and that Miss Lamb does not think they are the same,
Mhm.
and she, realizes all of these things she's thought about her, all of these things that she's, like tried to, like the one person she's like, maybe I have communicated, maybe she does see me, like maybe things aren't all lost. We find out she is indeed very innocent. She is just so like taken by the fact that Miss Naughty made a move on her, and then she ends up on the lamb. So I just thought that was like a really brilliant take from oh my god, I almost called her Victorian Fiedo. Send help.
Change the name. Change your name.
Change it. Change it.
Write it down.
Yeah, but I thought that was a really, really interesting take by Fado to do that.
Yes.
So yeah, did you guys have any
Also,
thoughts
the
on
dog licking the blood trail clean
Mhm.
as she like dragged her corpse to hide. Like that was just like the dog follows licking the floor clean. Like,
yes.
And realistically, I guess in Victorian times, how bad does that house smell? There's just bodies piling
Right.
up. Like,
Well, and I have some questions that we'll get to in a little
yes, yeah, but
but
I love the sacrificial lamb. I love the metaphor that this pair, this almost like what is looked like a likely pair that ends up being unlikely. But
right.
I think that Miss Lamb was also just seeking friendship because they're in a place where they don't get a lot of kindness. So when you have a new face and she seems genuine, you kind of cling to that. And she so desperately wanted Winifred to be that person for her, to be almost like a
Yeah.
confidant. Because they do share. She
Yeah.
does share with her.
and she
She
was
does.
gosh, like she was faffing about with the gardener, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So, like just thinking like she probably wanted someone to talk to about it, like about
Yeah.
her little romance with the
Some little
gardener.
girl talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Naughty seems like, oh, she seems like she could be a friend.
Yeah.
And then your
coming
earlobe in her mouth and
from outside,
the dream's
like
over.
knowing a different world, because who knows how long Miss Lamb has. I know that came they came to this house, but who knows how long they've been with the family. Did she come with them from the city? So you don't really know. Maybe she's craving some outside because now she's forced to be in the middle of nowhere, essentially, especially in the time frame.
Yeah.
I think she just wanted a friend.
I love that so much. Sorry, I'm like catching up on the comments. Ophelia says, of course her name would be Miss
It's
Lamb.
fitting.
Very much is. Um, so that brings us on to Winifred Interrupted. And so this one, Taylor, I'm gonna let you take the lead on, because I believe this was one of your talking points.
Yes, for some reason, it gave very much Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted. I felt like there were just some scenes. It's the wit. She is there for, this person clearly doesn't seek help. Winifred clearly doesn't seek help. But I feel like in another life, in another timeline, she would have been somebody that wants the perception of, I'm getting help, I'm getting better. And I don't think she can. I don't think she's capable of it. But I just like that idea of those worlds coming together, and then seeing how she would pair with somebody who has an eating disorder or just coming in from a depressive episode. How would she deal with people who experience other problems outside of herself?
Or how she would deal with her charge having the largest heartbreak of her life.
And she had to look like she cared. Like, I don't know. I think that there was a lot of, it could just be so many different interpretations of this story. Like, if we were to reread it again, I feel like we would find 700 other things that we could talk about. I don't know how Virginia did it, but she was drinking something, and I want to know what sauce. It was. Yeah, she sprinkled it on. Yeah, I just thought she doesn't care about anything. Like, there's so many cool subplots in this that we could have delved into.
I actually really like the comparison to Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted.
Yeah.
That kind of just, there's also like a freedom to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes she just says things for like a shock value. Like she says exactly what she's thinking, and people are like, so.
Yeah. Not under her breath. She says it with her chest.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and people hear it. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And she goes, oh, just kidding.
Oh my God. That's like my favorite scene is when it's one of my absolute favorite scenes is when she's talking to the staff in the kitchen about like the ghost stories and stuff. And then they all just turn to her and they're like, we don't like you very much at all.
They took a page right out of her book. They were like, girl, get out of here. They were icons.
Straight up they were like, we don't care for you.
Setting boundaries. I love that.
You give us the ick.
You give us the ick. You can go now.
You can go here.
Where's like all of our friends? Ever since you came here, they've gone missing. I forgot about that scene. It's so silly. Like, how can this book that is, I'm not saying that it's not serious, but this book is silly. Like,
it's very unserious.
Love it. Yeah.
It is very unserious. And I think the thing that I love the most is the things. Hold on. Okay. The things that are the most unserious, like, I think this, correct me if I'm wrong, but this book, it hangs out in the land of the absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Right? because
It
we
borders
have
on
this
surreal
female
sometimes.
Yeah, pushing past your
yes,
your what's that word
yeah,
when you suspend your disbelief. Like you kind of got to
yeah.
push. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's very interesting too, and we'll get to this in a minute, but um even when she's being the world's worst babysitter, uh she is still doing the most in this book. Like you cannot hate her in this book. She literally replaces a whole ass baby,
The
scrapes off a
baby.
mole.
Yeah.
The baby.
And I think that we watched for our movie pairing with this American Psycho.
Wait,
And I said to everybody who was there, I was like, I know Kaylee, you didn't love it, but I said, read the theories because the theories are really good. I thought that was a direct scene of, oh, these people only care about themselves. The woman doesn't even recognize that this chubby little
no clue.
baby is not hers because you know who takes care of
No.
it? The nanny. So they don't even care. They only think of themselves. And I do love these parallels between. I know that American Psycho is not a lot of people's favorites, but it is a piece of great literature for what it is. And I think that she pays such good homage without taking the what American Psycho actually is, but she does such good pulls from that story. And I genuinely love the baby snatching scene. She runs
What?
like a mile away.
She runs.
She's a
Like,
track star.
girl is a track star. Yes. Oh my god, that whole scene, I was literally laughing. It was so, just the fact that she's like, "Oh my god,
And
I
there
just
just
blanked
happens
out
to
for
be
a
a baby
second."
there that she can
Crying.
snatch. Like,
Yes. And
luckily,
I think what I love the most about Fiedo's writing is
She's a
never
runner.
once in that, never once in that was I like, she's a runner, she's a track star. Claudia. Not once was I like judging her or being like, "No, what are you doing?" I
No.
was like, "Yeah, go get that baby."
This was a
right?
good
Like
for her
that makes
book.
sense. You have to
Look,
replace it.
yeah. And I thought going back because I had to reread this scene because did she take the baby with this intention or was she trying to the thing about Winifred is you don't know. Like I just feel like did
I
she
think you
take
could
it
read
with
it either way.
yeah, like did she take it with that intention of I'm gonna kill this baby, or was this like a I'm having because this whole thing is like a psychotic episode. Like, did she even know that she did this when she did it? Like, and that was a lot of it
Yeah.
was like almost like scenes of did she really just do that? Did she really just go and run and get another baby, or did she not kill the baby in the first? Like, there's so much that you can interpret it as, but she's wild. Good for her. Love that for her.
Is she
Well,
like
and
just
I think
straight up imagining that the baby was talking to her and making fun of her
That's why she
and sort
killed
of
it.
mocking her?
That's why I
And
was
so
like,
she just in
was
a
she
fit
having
of rage,
visions?
it's
Like,
like,
was she fully into like a manic episode?
well, and I
And
think it's important for us to state too, a psycho is somebody who is unstable and an aggressive person.
mhm,
So they're going to exhibit like all the behaviors.
mhm,
And I think it's important, and the fact that they are emotionally unsound or unstable too.
mhm.
So just to be very what's the word I'm looking for? And this is why people come here, because this is the stuff you miss in a podcast is lost words.
No edits.
But that's it. No edits. But this is something that I think is worth mentioning because there's a whole lot of, yes, it does give nature versus nurture.
Oh yeah.
That is that that's a big thing because I mean,
Mhm.
also think about it. We're taking the baby from this this well-loved farm home
Mhm.
to farm fred baby. Um,
Yeah,
we're
like
taking this
low class.
free-range child
Yeah, working
and then we're putting it
class.
into this.
Fresh baby.
Like,
And
arguably, he's gonna have maybe a better life
He might have like a better chance of survival,
living.
surviving.
I was about to say living.
but at what cost?
And yeah,
And
like,
Right.
are we
he could have a
pushing like
successful life.
yeah,
Like, he'll have money.
yeah,
And
but
But
To Meg's point, I think it's very fascinating that the story at every point it really takes a moment to ask you, but what is the better situation? Like, yes, there's this girl running around doing all of these horrible things, but is she really the worst thing in the room? Like, is she
mhm,
really is she the one who is the bad person? Is she the one who is really causing all this trouble? Or would these people have it coming? Either way, they sliced it.
mhm,
Because for I know Laura and I talked for a minute earlier when we were going through slide points. Um, Another thing that Fiedo really just nails is the very Dickensian nature of the time
mhm,
and the way she sets up all of these like little tableaus with the kids at her orphanage or the children at the oh my god, the older school, the prestigious like girls school she goes
mhm,
to, um,
yeah,
or the little house and all of Miss Fancy and the friends and all of that. Um, these little tableaus, when you read them from her perspective, at first you're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. But if you take a second, you start realizing Winifred's not the worst thing in this book.
yeah. And I also think there's the because you were defining a psycho. I think it's also the question of rationale and irrational. And I think that
Hmm.
that comes up a lot with some of the other characters. Like, are they acting rationally? I don't think we have a specific thing about the mummy scene, but I feel like that's just a commentary of entitlement. And that has been known throughout history. And I just think it's, she's surrounded by terrible people. Well, that's true. And
really is.
she did what she did.
And then Meg says the argument is made she got it from her blood father. And oh man, that's I haven't even begun to think about that, right? Because we have this man who is into phrenology and puts down his wife, like not puts down, but like puts off his wife, like
Yeah.
brushes her off.
Yeah. A little put
Has
downy.
2 kids, right? Has 2 kids, but only acknowledges one.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like
Like,
And
she
the
says that he
worst one.
straight up just doesn't acknowledge Drusilla after they find out her little fling with the painter. Like, he just stops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have a doctor anymore.
And that all came from jealousy of the mom. Because
Yeah,
again, in another time they probably would be pushing for her to get a husband. Maybe not an artist. I don't know if that was frowned upon at the time, but the mother was jealous, of a younger daughter. Like, because that's all
yep,
she talked about was her beauty and her outward appearance. And then you have your blood getting the attention from outside, not from your husband, not from painters coming in, whoever's coming around the house. So it's jealousy too.
And I think one thing that stood out to me is in that whole fiasco is that she says he's not even rich. Like, you couldn't have even done this with someone rich. The issue is not that her young, underage, innocent child is engaging
Is maybe getting
in,
groomed. Like,
potentially being
Is getting
molested.
yeah.
Lydia Benedict.
Yeah.
Yeah. The issue is that he's not rich. Because at least if he was rich, they could deal with it.
Exactly.
It's like,
she's like, if I can't have my youth, at least I'll have my status.
Yeah,
Okay.
if he's not looking at me, he can't be looking at my daughter, but not for the reasons why you think. Like,
oh, the scene where the dad just shoots the locket.
yeah. That was
terrifying.
I felt that trauma. I held space for her in that moment. Like, just a little bit.
That was the moment that I think I really acknowledged, like, oh, the dad's not a faffing idiot. The dad is actually, like, a legitimately terrible person, too.
Calculated.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
very
And in
calculated.
front of
Pulled
all
out when
their
he cared.
friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He did it.
Yep.
It was such a tense scene.
And it was like an ego booster for him with his young daughter to
look how I control
intimidate
my
her. Yeah. Ew. Ugh.
See, just bringing you back to what the real horrors in the novels are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in this novel is.
Like we said, it's very Dickensian. Like, on one hand, you have the little orphan Oliver trying to make his way through life, but then, the nice, friendly barmaid gets beaten to death by her abusive husband, and there's child labor, and there's child abuse, and
even though they talk about how they're not into child labor.
Right.
Silly.
Right. Oh, they're so
peripherally, you're like,
but
it's there.
Yeah.
I love how Mr. Pounds is like, child labor, it's so terrible. And then his friend comes up and he's like, yeah, I can't believe they're canceling child labor. I had people in the mines doing this shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, how could they cancel child labor?
It again comes back to a scene in American Psycho where he's talking about all the plights of the world and how it doesn't matter to them. They're still going to exploit all of them. So what do they care? Has no effect on them.
All he cared about was that she marry into wealth and status. Yep, that's true.
All of us.
Very, very true.
Not happiness, not love. Also not
right.
Old man.
So this not with
an old man.
So this one I thought was a very fun kind of discussion topic, was the difference, like the dichotomy that Phaedo sets up with the cuckoo bird and going crazy. Because she sets up and she speaks to the children and she talks, what is it? What's his name? Henry? That's not Henry. The boy's name.
Andrew?
Andrew. It's Andrew. She talks to Andrew about the cuckoo bird. And this was when I kind of started, like, as soon as she mentioned the cuckoo birds, I was like, oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited. Because they're an invasive bird species. So, like she says in the book, they'll go in, they'll kick the other birds out of the nest. They will eat. Like, they'll ask the mom to give them food, and eventually they kill the mom. Because the mom can't support herself, the mom can't do these things, and it's like a very predatory type of bird. And I just blinked on my train of thought. Oh my God.
I love where it was going. It's a great metaphor for the whole book.
But well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's not just this offhanded comment that gets made.
Mm-mm.
We see her throughout the whole novel wheedling her way in to this nest. Like,
She gets
she's
to all the
taken out.
dinners. She gets invited to all the dinners. Like,
She
she
gets
gets
invited to
integrated.
all the meals. She becomes integrated into the family. She ends up even pushing the mom out of status,
Hmm.
right? Like, she puts the mom out of favor with the husband. Not that he was really trying to do much with her anyways, but
Yeah.
um for a while I was wondering if the last governess, if for a while I was wondering if freaking Winifred killed her or if the father did
Hmm.
because of like an extramarital affair.
Hmm.
Um but then Winifred comes out and is like, it was I. It was so hard. I was like, oh man. But like, I got it.
But it's definitely
Um,
something that could have happened. Like, it doesn't seem far
Yeah.
fetched. But they would have left that open
right.
to interpretation.
Right. And I love the dichotomy of like, as she gets more and more settled in the family, the more and more we see her becoming unhinged.
Hmm.
We see her just kind of like really going full speed ahead with the insanity of her plan. Um, much like a cuckoo bird.
Hmm. Unraveling the nest and then eventually taking over. Like,
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying
hmm.
to insert herself as the heir
Hmm.
because she's the oldest.
And if things
She
would have
is,
went a
yeah.
different way,
Take Andrew Bird out of the nest.
yeah, like, if things would have went a different way, because her dad is not the best guy. So we'll
No.
talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah. Actually, we're there.
Oh, there it
Andrew
is.
Daddy.
I know. I've been like saving. I've been like holding a little piece of that conversation back. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
wait, wait.
I know. Did everybody pick up on it?
How shocked were you at the um reveal?
I
Like right
I
before.
I called it. I took a photo of it, but it doesn't say the page number. But it was like, I don't know, but I have it marked. I was like, this is the moment I knew that this is her dad. Like, I was like, oop, and so that build up. So I could have seen it from coming from a twist point where it would have been like, that's a great reveal, but also figuring it out and the lead up to it was also great.
Yeah.
She did it both ways. It was a win-win situation because yes, some readers may have saw it coming, but it's a great lead up anyway because
Mhm.
So good.
I was very impressed with. I was just impressed by this whole book. The writing style, the humor, the lead up. There's a reason why we rated it the way we did.
Yeah, right, right. Um,
Like,
I think
I think when it
I
came,
figured it out, or the moment I realized that she was talking about like mentioning her mother and trying to go to the house, etc. And she mentions a crest, the
mm-hmm,
like boar crest.
mm-hmm.
And that was when my brain was like, hang on
I
a
think
see,
that's
second.
for
the
me,
same. I think that's the same point I had.
I had the bit about the cuckoo's nest, and then there was the phrenology when they're like measuring heads, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, your head's the same size
Oh,
as mine."
Yeah,
we
I
mine
have
was
the
like,
was
same head.
mine was the letter that her dad wrote to them when she was like,
Yeah, I
"Stop
think that
calling!
was
I will kill you!" And I was just like, "That's your dad." It's like, takes one to know one. Like,
phrenology twins.
phrenology twins. Let's all get our heads measured, guys.
And just the it factor the whole time of like, it seems like he's always on the verge
Of like
of making
boinging
a
her.
move on her.
Yeah, there was very one-sided sexual tension because he was like, "You're my soulmate," because the sizes of their heads were the same.
She's like, "You're my daddy."
Yeah, she's like, "Money, please."
That scene when they confront each other in the in his study, just chef kiss.
Yeah, because it did not go the way that he was anticipating. He was he's like, well, I think I know what you're here to say. And she's just like, you're my
just
dad.
starts
And he's just like,
buttoning his
hold on.
pants, and then
he's like, well, why would you say that? That's a turn off.
Yep. I think the one that I got the big ick on was when he was showing her the book.
The book.
And she's like, yeah, the book of all the sex positions.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I blocked it.
She's like,
she's like, wow, thanks.
Like,
she's like, Dad, this is not the birds and the bees conversation I thought we were going to have.
She's like, for sure. Definitely not.
Yikes.
She's like, man, my dad and I have such a cool relationship. With
he talks so openly.
Nobody.
He's a cool dad.
He's not a regular dad.
He's a cool dad.
And I think one of the
Somehow.
biggest indications of the type of human he is that last scene with him. When at first he's like begging her, like, what do you want? Do you want the money? Do you want this? Do you want that? I'll do it. And then realizes, no, she's going to kill him. And what does he resort to? Calling her fat.
Yeah.
Yes!
Because that's every cowardly man's move.
Right.
If you can't,
like, that's
them,
the
degrade
worst thing they can think of to call someone.
And she's just like, dude,
Okay.
brushes it off in a very spectacular way.
I might be.
Yeah. Bitch, I might be.
She's like, I might be, but you are too.
Yeah, that's what I said. Takes one to know one, baby.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So the next slide we have is, are we born evil or made? So do we think, and please everybody watching respond in the chat, do we think that Winifred would have been this way if her upbringing was different? Meg is probably like screaming in the chat. She's probably so excited. That was like, you kept saying nature versus nurture, and I'm like,
hold on. I was like, May, shh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Would you guys mind if I shared my point of view first?
Go ahead.
No, go for it, girl.
I think that she would have been worse because she would have been Andrew. She would have been an entitled little brat that got her way with everything, and the second that you did it, she kills that baby. And maybe she doesn't replace it. Maybe she just goes, what are you going to do about it? Ooh. Here's a coin. Bye. So I think that she came from a line of people that suffered with mental illness. And she got a short end of a stick, but she would have been the same.
I would fight you on it. Except for the fact that her sister ends up doing the same thing. The sister ends up having the break. The sister ends up having the same kind of just go. Because they go, it's like 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. They're there for a solid time. But I also have thoughts on her. On Drusilla. But yeah.
I think the phrenology tells a lot in terms of this story.
Hey.
That's true.
Right, yeah. That's
Oh
true.
my god. Oh, May.
What do you guys think? Laura, what are you going back and forth?
No, I think she would have been the same because there's indications that she, like when she's a child, she's doing these type of things that aren't a learned behavior, but
Yeah.
maybe she would have been better at controlling the urges she got she had a bit more of a stable upbringing. Like maybe she wouldn't have cracked so early. Maybe she wouldn't be quite so bad if she'd had, if say her mother had married someone and they'd had a
Yeah,
nice
because
little
I don't
family
think
life.
growing up with her father would have been in a stable environment. You see how
Yeah,
he
not at
treats
all.
his daughters, even if she was the heir, even if she was the firstborn. If a boy came next, would she had been pushed to the wayside? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And like we
maybe.
see that with Drusilla too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Drusilla's maybe not, she's had a different upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
but when given the opportunity to indulge in
She
these
takes it.
thoughts, she takes it. Absolutely. So I don't think
Now, what
Drusilla
do you
was
guys think?
made evil, but I think she was dragged onto that potential path that she had.
Yeah, and maybe it was quicker. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
I would love to just reread this from like
I kind of want to already.
while paying attention to Drusilla
Right.
Yeah.
throughout the whole book. Because there's
And
like when
she's
she says,
like
I know
smarter.
Yes, she's very smart. She's the better of
she's
the two
calculated.
children of the two.
Well, she's older. She's older, so she's supposed to be the heir, but she's not
Yeah.
a boy.
Yeah. Exactly. So that answers our question of she would have been pushed to the wayside regardless.
Yep.
Oh, I
And
love this.
so
Like Meg said, you might argue it's a class difference as well.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, Drusilla has been educated. I mean, albeit not by the current governess very well.
Yeah.
But
Not with fake French, but
she's aware, I guess. Like, it just thinking about she heard the police coming and had the thought to chain herself up and then turn and be like, no, I was a victim in all of this. Like, whereas Winifred's too far gone. She doesn't care.
I also
Like, yep,
think
look what I did.
I think that Drusilla was very smart at the end in that regard, but I also think that it was like Winnie passing the mantle almost. Like they came up like that wasn't she didn't turn on her sister. I think it was like I came here to do what I did and now you're free and you get to do what you do because she's not scared of dying. She doesn't fight
she's not.
her way. She doesn't kick her way to the gallows. She wants to be
Yeah.
aware of her surroundings, and I think that she set Drusilla free. And I think that they came to that conclusion together. I don't think that she ever turned on her.
Yeah, and just that
Ooh.
last bit she says, like I look at the crowd at Drusilla among them, her fawn eyes wide and brimming with the tears I could never produce.
Yeah, because she's
Like
good at it.
she's created something
Mm-hmm.
even better than her because she can blend in better. She can do these things. She can cry. She can
Yes.
force emotion.
Yeah.
Because she was doing the same thing. She was on a rampage in her own right. She wasn't crying when she was sitting with all the bodies. She was happy. She was happy as a clam.
She was having a grand old time.
I think she freed her. And I think that it ended up like almost a happy story in that regard, even though this is another maybe person that needs a little bit of help.
I mean, it's the same thing you get with like natural born killers. Like they're doing terrible things, but ultimately, like Juliette Lewis's character is free.
Yeah. So
and we
said it the whole time. Good for her.
Yep.
Maybe she'll go kill
wow,
the artist.
that really
changes some things, you got to reread it. We all got to reread.
No, I really want to reread this from Drusilla's perspective.
Mhm.
For
Like-
April, we're just reading Victorian Psycho again.
Yeah, I'd be like, sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Actually,
We'll
and we're going
have
to
that.
talk about it for another hour.
That's it. Yeah. We'll pick different topics. You want to talk about a mummy? Let's talk about a mummy.
We'll talk about those mummies. Oh.
So, well, I guess you guys answered my question, my next question, which was going to be, so do you think Drusilla is worse?
I don't think she's
Who
worse.
do you think is worse?
I think she's better? Question mark?
Well, yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that she's scarier. I think she's scarier because
Yeah.
she can project those emotions that Winnie couldn't. And she's innocent and she's smart and she comes from a wealthy family. She's been set up to be successful in this.
That's true.
Because she's
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
get
I mean, she's the
and I
sole
think
heir.
that's the thing too.
She's the
That's all
heir.
attached to
Is-
her.
Yeah, she gets all that. That's hers.
I mean, she probably doesn't
Well, and I
get
think
it
that's the-
until she marries, but
Yeah, but
I think, did you just make that face with Jeff in the same room as you?
a man?
Mary.
no,
No, we
he's
marry
not in
for
the
love.
same room anymore.
Made me giggle. Yeah, that is a very, and I did not think about that. Her being set up. Well, because, I mean, if you think about it, it goes to show even more that her and Drusilla are cut from the same cloth, right?
hmm
Oh, God, that's,
We've opened
Wow.
your eyes.
What were your
Wow.
thoughts when you were reading?
well, originally, I just thought that, like, Drusilla had, like, a psychotic break and just went on the spree um Winifred, and then wakes up and is like realizing what she did. And I didn't quite think about it as, oh, they're the same. Because she does the whole book. She does the wistful, like, walks away. She does the whole, like, need not know more than must say kind of thing.
Mhm.
The, like, dress, like, now things are coming to light,
Yeah.
where, like, the dress scene with her mom and how weird that is, and how, like, when she confronts, I think she knew, I mean, looking at it through this lens, I think she knew her secret, her legitimate secret, way before.
But I also think that she was interested in like being like, I want you to be a part of this family. Because she says, she's like, I wish you would be with my dad. Like, I would prefer it
I
because
think-
she sees a kinship. She does.
I don't know if I would go that far. I think she sees it as a way to get her dad out of the picture.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, a way to put that idea in her head of, like if she's really trying to play, like, if they're really trying to do spy versus spy, right? That would be such a great way to be like, you should really, I would love for you to be in this family forever.
Yeah.
And then her, like, get the idea, plant the idea,
Yeah.
or her
'Cause I
think she
didn't-
plants the idea.
Yeah, because I didn't get that from that. I think of it more as she saw herself in Winifred. So she was just like, you're somebody I could talk to instead of my mom who just is like, learn cross stitch, be a good wife. Like, that's all you're meant to do. Sit in the corner and shut up, and you're meant to be seen and not heard. When Winnie really does,
Yeah.
like, even when they sit together at dinner, it's like a different, just the way that they interact at the dinner table is different. Even though the two
Yeah,
girls
they have
are
a different
silent.
dichotomy between
yeah.
them.
Yeah. So I
And
think
just
it was more
thinking
of like a
of-
kinship.
like I mean, she mentions once or twice that Drusilla might know who she like what she really is, what she's really doing. And the scene with the baby when she runs into Drusilla outside the nursery and she's like not entirely sure if Drusilla saw or not. And like just think of the implications. Like if Drusilla did go in the nursery and found the dead baby and then just decides not to say anything.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta reread.
Drusilla, the real
This is so
MVP of the
tantalizing.
novel. And then I think this is our last slide. But we have gallows humor.
Gallows humor.
Do we think that this story would be told to us the same way if she were not at death's door by the time we are getting to read it? Because she's telling the whole thing.
She told us at the very beginning, in 3 months, everyone in this book will be dead. She said it. She told us from the very beginning. Yeah, I don't think I marked it, but she says, oh, and in 3 months' time, they'll all be dead. I think it's like the very first chapter.
Yeah, it's in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because she does like the whole, oh wait, we'll get there. You see.
And the prologue about how death is everywhere. Like crushed in the paint, papered on the walls.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the weird, creepy paintings. There's so much we could talk about.
The eyes. Yeah.
Stealing the eyes, like.
But I don't know. I think that the inevitable end is what gave this. I think that it was the perfect ending. I couldn't see it going another way. And it was on her terms.
Why I could never watch Dexter? Because I was like, shouldn't he just die?
Let's not bring it up. Yeah, let's not talk about it.
That's a sensitive topic for some of us here.
It really is.
Let
the paintings live.
Oh my god, I'm catching up on some of these comments. And
I have to add the unsuitable to my TBR now. I hadn't heard of that one.
Yes. Apparently, Rachel Harrison recommended it, so it must be good.
Yep. It was on the list.
And we all know she's never wrong.
I also love
May is our number one Victorian recommendation. Recommender. That's the word.
It's like
it really is.
This tattoo on my arm is a Jane Eyre tattoo. So all of the little references, like even just her saying "Dear Reader."
Oh, you probably ate it up. You ate that shit up, girl.
I was waiting for a crazy woman.
Didn't even bother with a spoon. Just
May brings up a good point. Who says Drew didn't manipulate the artist too?
Yeah, because if she is what we're thinking she is, very possible.
Man, stop it right now, May. Parents just don't understand.
Yeah. It's not a phase. It's not a phase, Mom. Come to my crib.
Angst is a universal thing.
Her new apartment is exceptional. I've not been yet, but I've seen photos. So that's all I'll say.
Yes.
That's all I'll say.
She's got a very lovely, beautiful, like, it's so
like a huge, ornate mirror above the fireplace. Ugh, like kill me.
I know. I'm like scared to be like, it's so Victorian Gothic perfection. But
it really is.
But then I'm gonna be like, she's gonna comment exactly what style her house is in the comments, so I don't want to be like
2 fireplaces. She's got 2 fireplaces. I don't even have one.
2 fireplaces.
I have a little space heater. That's what I got. Plugs into the wall.
I love it. But yeah, so that was our last discussion slide for the book. Was there anything that we didn't get to that you guys wanted to chat about, or that
probably so much, but
right
on the reread,
like I mentioned earlier, the end, like I saw it as this is something she wrote in her cell, waiting to go to the gallows.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and
it's
that's why,
almost-
like, she's
yeah.
saying, like, dear reader, and the funny names and everything. She's gotten to input all of this after the fact.
Yeah, because it is
And
she's telling us that she's writing a book. Like she's always been the narrator, the author. And is this an author of almost you could say by getting to the end of this, like a suicide note. Just because
What-
she gets there. That was all. I think that was always the goal for her. I don't think that she
I like
even
that.
saw another ending of my father will accept me and we're going to live out this beautiful fairy tale life. Because I don't think that she thought
No.
that. She knew it was
No,
going to happen.
I think she knew the direction she was going to go the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
like that, though, that she
May-
wasn't just a narrator, she was an author.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's the line. I love
Damn, that's some Victorian snappage right
Woo.
there.
that.
Hell yeah. May, asking the real question. Do we think Winnie would eat hot Cheetos?
R.I.P. Winnie. You would have loved hot Cheetos.
Yes. And then she
I
just
think
wipe
she-
her hands
like-
on her dress.
She would
And not
shot
care.
down like a Red Bull, and she'd be like, "Let's get this going." I got
Let's go. I think she
I
would
got
do
stuff
them
to
to
do.
see
She would,
if they
like,
gave
lick
her like
the hot
any-
Cheetos, too.
fingers.
Yeah, I think she'd like lick them, or she'd like lick her finger on the Cheeto dust and then try
Just
to
do-
put some in her eyes to see if she could make herself cry.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'd be like, "Okay, I can get there with
It's
these."
the only way she can cry. Hot
The
Cheeto
secret
dust.
weapon, the secret sauce.
That's it. That's it. Oh my god, that's so funny. But
That's
yeah,
great.
so
Uh,
next up we have our watch-alikes.
Watch-alikes.
If you want some more, we support women's wrongs and women's rights. We have Pearl.
Yeah.
That one I
She's
feel
a
like is
star.
a story. She's a star.
Kaylee, did you pick these? I think that these are really great watch
I did pick these.
Yeah.
The
and
only
also-
other one that I didn't recommend in here, but I absolutely would recommend as well, is Saltburn.
Oh, you did say that. And I want to throw
Yeah.
in The Audition. I also
Ooh,
thought that one was a good one for this one.
yeah.
There's so many good.
Um,
There's just so many good movies.
So many. Well, and I liked Orphan
Yeah.
because I loved the Cuckoo's Nest aspect
Yeah,
of it
I
all.
actually love Orphan. That was a good pull.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, we'll have to watch it. We'll have to watch it. You'll
Yeah.
be like, Kaylee. I'll be like, I know.
I think I
Yeah,
found
it is
out
really
someone spoiled the twist for me, and so I just never watched it.
Oh, it's a good twist.
Yeah, but
But watch the movie. It's a good movie. It's worth it.
watch it. Even if you know the twist is coming,
Yeah.
It's
like
still-
this book.
it's
You
still
know
good.
the twist is coming, but it's still good. It still gets you there.
Oh, Companions. Like the one with Sophie Thatcher, the new one.
oh,
I really want to see that.
I haven't. Yeah,
The
I want to watch that
Companions or
too.
Companion? Are there two different movies?
I don't know. Is
Inform
The
us.
Companions a different movie?
I don't know.
My
No.
brain. Same. Okay. Yeah, I really want to see it. Plus,
It was
I
really
love
good.
Sophie
It was really
Thatcher.
good.
Yellow Jacket.
Mm.
Yay.
Oh yeah, is it called the? Oh no, I have it just called as Companion. But I did love it.
May's like, hold on.
Yeah, write
So
these
she's
down.
finding it.
Write all these
Write that
down.
down. Jot that down. Jot that down. For read-alikes, we have, of course, American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis
Of course.
and Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson.
One of my favorite books.
Yes.
You want to
And
say
she just
Eat the
announced a
Rich?
new one today.
Let's go.
I know. I saw. I'm very excited.
I screamed at the cover. It was gorgeous.
It was so
I love it.
gorgeous.
I can't wait
I
to read
haven't
it.
seen yet. Oh my god. I'm like,
Go
hold
look
on.
after this. Go look after this. It's incredible.
Do it.
Oh my god. I have got to look at this now
I know.
because
Yeah.
now I
Actually,
am
put
so
yeah. Just
shook.
yeah.
I remember I read that and immediately was like, Kaylee, you need to read this book. No.
I'm May actually got me for Christmas Bloom, and I had never heard of anything. I had never heard of it. And I read it. It was the first book I read in 2023 or 2024 rather. And I flew through it. So I started my 2025 off with Guillotine. I was like, I have to start every year with a little Delilah. Like, I love her.
Oh my god.
It's
Ooh.
perfect companion. The innocence.
Ooh, House
the
of
innocence.
Idol?
Okay. Yeah, it looks so
Okay.
good. Stay on the
Ooh,
grind.
stay on the
gifting
grind.
Perfect books. She does. She kills it. I've loved every
Love
book
it.
that she's given me.
She's a reader's advisory homegirl.
She's there for you.
Let's see. So did I? Oh yeah.
Oh, no!
Oh, math
Ah!
was very hard this time.
Oh
It was
my
very
gosh,
hard.
it was very. We were very decisive. Like I was like very. I mean, very indecisive.
It's a meddling kids. No.
No, y'all know what book we read. We read Victorian
So
Psycho.
close.
Oh,
And
I
if you were
didn't
here for
even
last
notice.
month,
So
you know
close
this is
to no
Victorian Psycho's
typos.
rating. I know. I was like, we almost made it.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
not
this is
the
definitely
rating
not-
for middling kids. Go back and
This
watch
is
that if
not.
you would like to know. What was it about half?
But yeah, no math. Hooray! That was easy.
Yay!
We love it.
Yeah, This was
5
an
coffins
easy-
out of 5
Across the
coffins.
board.
this was an easy rating for me. I really loved this book. I'm excited to actually reread it. So, and that doesn't happen with a
Yes.
ton of books for me. But I will reread this one, and
Like, it's
I actually
definitely
kind of
on my
want to do it
list of
soon.
best books of the year already.
I think
Yeah,
so as
like-
well.
It's gonna be up there.
Yeah. I was on a kick because I finished The Lamb, I finished this, and then I just finished The Unworthy, so I feel like I'm like, oh my
Ooh.
gosh. Like
Delicious.
what am I doing?
Delicious.
I'm in a whirlwind.
I know you're gonna hit.
Oh,
I'm not bringing it on you. I'm knocking on some
this
wood.
will only hurt.
I was like, you about to hit a book slump.
No, shh, don't wish that on me. Don't do that.
I
just
knocked on
Don't
wood.
say
I
those
knocked on
words
wood.
out
I
loud.
knocked on wood.
Knock on wood. I don't have any.
If you didn't do the audio, do it on your reread. It's so fun. Yeah,
do
I did the
that.
audio for the last
Ooh.
bit of the book, the last like
Ooh.
12 Days of Christmas bit.
Ooh, that's
It-
probably so
it was-
fun.
So much fun. It was so good.
Okay, I think I'll do the audiobook. Who also recommended the audiobook to me? I think it was Violet. I know that she was reading it. So, definitely.
McMarsters?
I
That
don't know her last
Violet?
name. I don't know her last name. Doylestown?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Violet-
yeah.
Yeah, In a Violet Nature? Yeah.
Yes.
I just remember her name from Sadie, when Sadie was doing Meet the Readers.
Oh, yeah. I only read first names. Like, I'm just like, guys,
That's
I'm
fair.
dyslexic. I read
That's
enough.
fair. Ooh, oh damn, y'all see Picnic at Hanging Rock too? Might be a good one. Have to keep it in mind.
Mm-hmm. I gotta write these all
Okay.
down. It's growing.
Right? And so next month,
Yay!
we will be reading
Green
Green
Fuse
Fuse Burning.
Very excited.
You all voted. We are very, very, very excited. If you have any film recs, if you have already read it, please DM us, let us know, or message us in the Discord. We would love, love, love to get y'all's input.
Mhm.
And with this being the closing of our book discussion, we are also opening up. That means we are also opening up May theme submissions.
Mhm.
We believe the theme that I think we're gonna try and go for is Mother May I. So like
Ooh.
books with crazy moms or books with like unhinged mommy protagonists or issues or like Mother Thing or like
Guys, I'll reread The Lamb. I'll do
I was
it.
about to say or The Lamb.
I'll reread it.
These are for May.
Not for that May. for the month of May.
Right. Not for you,
Yeah.
May.
Not for you, May. I love you though.
Not for MAE, for MAY.
I'm an idiot. I just got it.
You just got Mother May I? Oh my god! You explained it so good in text earlier, too!
You even said the pun. I was like, okay. Man, when I think Mother May I think Pedro Pascal.
Oh my god. I love me a good pun. Love me a good pun.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
There's only so many months I get to make puns out of.
I know. There's no fun ones for June.
We did Join Us June last year, and that was a good one. We did Cults.
Whoa, is it
We did
already
That's a good
almost
one.
been a year since Loot Island?
Oh my god, Loot Island was perfection. It has
It's so
almost.
much
We'll
fun.
have to bring it back. We'll have to bring it back. Loot Island was so good.
Do a redo. We'll do a redo month.
Yeah, I'm excited for
Rewind.
June. A lot of our birthdays are in June.
Yeah.
Um,
Summer solstice.
Summer
Ooh,
solstice.
actually,
Hell
that's a
yeah.
great one for June. We'll have to keep that in mind. That's actually really fun. Thanks, May. I'll write it down.
Alrighty. So with that, this has been the Victorian Psycho book discussion.
Oof. The
I'm
crypt is
so
always
proud that
keeping
we
it
have
real.
gotten these. We have gotten these into a tight 1:30.
That's
I'm so
impressive.
proud.
Yeah.
We've come so
Yeah.
far, Laura.
I'm proud
We
of you
have.
guys.
Alrighty. So with that, we will see you all next month. Our next reading sprint, just so you guys all are here and are aware, our next reading sprint is on April 9th. We will see you all April 9th at 7 p.m.
Thanks for
Alrighty.
joining
Y'all have
us.
a wonderful
Bye.
evening, and thanks for talking Victorian Psycho with us.
Yep.
Bye, guys.